Now, Sadtu says at least 180 pupils have tested positive for the coronavirus in the Eastern Cape. Schools opened earlier this month amid calls for some quarters to keep them closed to avoid the infection of learners. To talk more about this, I'm joined on the line now by Mdingi, the Eastern Cape Secretary for Sadtu. A very good morning to you. Thank you for your time. 180 pupils testing positive for COVID-19 is shocking, to say the least. What is your immediate reaction? Hi, Chris. Are you there?
Hello. Morning. Good to have me in your show. It is really a pathetic situation. We as Sadtu do not take kindly to what has transpired in the school. And we really feel for those children, their families, and their friends, their siblings, everybody who is affected by what has turned out in that school. Because it has been our call as Sadtu that the Eastern Cape Province Department of Education is not ready to reopen because we could foresee the disaster that was lying ahead. We have made numerous calls that the minimum standards set for any school to reopen must be respected and be observed by everybody. But look at what has transpired now, which we are sharing with you at the moment, as reported to us as well in that school. Because our calls, we can see, have been falling to deaf ears. But we are perturbed now that the head of department has invited us to a meeting this afternoon at 5, so that we can talk about these things. Because these are the realities confronting the children and the teachers in the schools. So we really don't take kindly to that.
Which school is this that we're talking about? And you speak of a school, so it's one single school that has reported these high numbers.
It's not a one school issue, but the worst case affects only one school, a worst case scenario. Because in other schools, it will be 1, 2, 3 people and so on. But in this one, it's more than 100. So hence our specific focus now, and in our utterances, you'll find that the focus has shifted a bit from other schools with fewer numbers identified and focused on this one, which has come with shocking ways that more than 100 pupils are alleged to have tested positive, including teachers to a greater extent. So we are saying the school is said to be in Mount Frey, and the name of the school is said to be Makaula Secondary School. We have received the report as well.
So you've been speaking a lot about the schooling situation and the reopening of schools in the Eastern Cape. You've been calling for schools to close because they face a multi-layered crisis. As we assess the repercussions and the outcome of the multi-layered crisis, just talk to us about the very pressing issues that could have led to the school reporting such shockingly high numbers.
We have heard about this incident a day before yesterday. You will recall that we have structures on the ground, branches, regions, sites that report to us of any mishap that has befallen any school or any individual, whether our member or not, so that we are on the alert and we are informed all the way. So we have learned about this incident a day before yesterday.
And what are the major challenges that could have led to this situation? Just assessing this one school with the high number of cases, where was there social distancing enforced? Were there water tanks available if there was no water? Just give us a wrap of the scenario. Put us in the school just to get an idea of how this could have happened.
This would be based on suspicion that when children got to school and mingled, certainly some of them, the virus was hiding in them. And then it became evident when they were already at school that some of them have been affected by the virus. So we can't be precise now as to how exactly this happened. we would be misleading the public.
Okay.
All we know is the number that has been presented to us as alleged to have been affected by the virus.
Okay, thank you so much.
We can't divulge that kind of information because we don't have that finer detail.
Thank you so much for your time. Sadtu's Provincial Secretary Chris Mdingi just speaking about shocking numbers coming out of a school in the Eastern Cape. 180 people being infected with the coronavirus.